Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. I'm Ryan Thomas coming to you live this Sunday morning from One Buffalo, New York. And guess what? Just wrapped up the Week 16 Buffalo Bills keys to victory this week versus the New England Patriots. We're going to be kicking the ball off at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. I'm very excited for this game. I think this is a true entertaining game. I'm already ready, prepped. Food-wise, beer-wise, I'm ready to go. So I cannot wait. 1 o'clock is always prime time for me. Whether it's a night game or not, if the Bills are playing, I'm watching. So let's go Buffalo, right? Let's go Buffalo. But I posted on the Thomas Take Sports Podcast Facebook page that I would be talking about another sport, another rivalry. We have a true rivalry with the Bills and Patriots, despite the fact that the Patriots have dominated the rivalry the last 15 to 20 years. It's a rivalry. We're trying to, we meaning the Buffalo Bills, we are trying to get to their level. We're trying to become the New England Patriots. And beating them or going toe-to-toe with them does speak volumes for the franchise. But there is a true rivalry, the rivalry of all rivalries, that I want to talk about today in part two of today's show on Christmas Eve morning, as I'm just chilling at the house and I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to put some stuff out today. Might as well. Why not? Give people something to listen to maybe as they're driving to a family party or driving on a family trip or something like that. So let's get started. The Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees rivalry is back, better than ever, but realistically, it never left. This rivalry has always been around. This rivalry has always been legit in the eyes of millions and millions of people. And this rivalry heading into the 2018 season is one with true interesting storylines. The most obvious storyline in this rivalry now is the fact that the Yankees traded for Giancarlo Stanton. Stanton, one of the best power hitters, the best power hitter in the game. If you're judging by last season, hit 59 home runs or something like that. Aaron Judge, I think, hit 54, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. Someone would have to check that for me, but it could be wrong. A true, Sultan, SWAT, whatever, Colossus of Clout, whatever you want to call it, duo that the Yankees are going to have. Another interesting dynamic of this rivalry that I look back on, from the start of the offseason back in October, really, when the Astros and the Dodgers were still going toe-to-toe in the World Series. The Red Sox hired Alex Cora as their manager. Cora has never managed at the major league level. He's been a bench coach for the Houston Astros. Once that series wrapped up, the Astros wanted to give him the right to see what teams were interested, and they did that during the series. Boston was the team, and then he signed a managerial contract with the Red Sox. And then you have, after the season, dust settles, the Yankees decide to fire Joe Girardi and hire Aaron Boone, the former hero of the New York Yankees, in October, as we all know, versus Tim Wakefield in the 2003 Game 7 ALCS. So the Red Sox and the Yankees are going into this season with two managers that have never managed in Major League Baseball, have never had a managerial role on a Major League Baseball team. Both have worked for ESPN. Alex Cora managed the Puerto Rico World Baseball Classic team, or was a coach for that team. Aaron Boone has worked for ESPN and Fox Sports. So if you look at it on the surface, if you take in what I just said there, it's a huge risk for the Yankees and the Red Sox, two of the game's most notorious franchises, to hire two managers with literally none, no managerial experience at the major league level. You go to the resume, no managerial roles. That says a lot to me, that the game is shifting towards new, younger managers. We're seeing some younger guys get some positions here and there, especially in GM, for the general manager, the guy that's in charge of acquiring and accumulating players for the team, building the farm system. Theo Epstein was the Red Sox GM not so long ago. He was very young when he was hired. I think he was 30. So, there's a lot of that mixed in. We're seeing that in football too. We're seeing it in basketball. We're seeing it all across the board. Younger coaches, younger managers. It's pretty daunting though for these two guys especially, because there are no two franchises in any sport that are as famous and well known as the Yankees and Red Sox. There's really not. You can look at basketball with the Lakers and Celtics. No. The Yankees and Red Sox are the two most notoriously known franchises in sports. The Yankees are a fashion statement. You have people that never watch baseball in their life wear Yankees stuff, wear Yankees hats. People that hadn't watched baseball in their entire life wearing these hats. You have the Red Sox are literally referred to as the Red Sox Nation. You got fans not only in Massachusetts but in Florida and Cali and Texas. They're everywhere. Red Sox fans are everywhere. And actually, coming from a kid from Buffalo, the Red Sox fans are everywhere, and obviously I'm one of them. So, that there's a little bit, I know a lot of Red Sox fans in this area in Western New York. The fact is that Buffalo is a Irish city. It's a predominantly Irish, Polish, mixed in Italian, their city, where there's a lot of people that came from Ireland to Boston to Buffalo. There's a lot of that. So, very interesting stuff. The heritage that this rivalry has. The big city versus the dirty water. You know what I mean? The dirty water city, the city of Boston, the city of Beantown, the city that, has prides itself, I should say, on the Bruins and the Celtics. And you got the Mecca, New York City, prides itself on the Yankees, the Giants, the Knicks. Geez, the Knicks are, God bless their fan base. They've went through hell and back as a fan base. So, all that being said, the rivalry, people are like, well, the rivalry's back. The rivalry isn't necessarily back. The rivalry never left. It's just got some new juice. The rivalry got a shot of adrenaline by this trade with Giancarlo Stanton and by the hirings of Alex Cora and Aaron Boone. Very interesting that the Yankees and Red Sox model of thinking has changed with the same ownership, the same people at the top, going from guys like Joe Torre and Terry Francona to guys like Alex Cora and Aaron Boone. Very interesting, to say the least. And the Red Sox definitely have something up their sleeve. They're working on things with J.D. Martinez. They're working on trading guys like Hanley Ramirez. They're working on a lot of different things right now. There's a lot of different directions that they could go to kind of, quote-unquote, combat this move by the Yankees in getting Giancarlo Stanton. And so many fans that I know, Red Sox fans, say that they have to do that. They don't have to combat Giancarlo Stanton. They have to combat themselves. They have to make their team better. The Red Sox have to be better. They need a long ball hitter. David Ortiz's retirement, Big Papi leaving Fenway, really hurt them in a leadership way, in a obviously clutch power hitting way, every which way possible. It hurt them. Not replacing him with anyone really, really hurt them. Promoting somewhat from within or moving pieces around, putting Hanley in that DH spot, really hurt them because Hanley wasn't wasn't the guy to take over for David Ortiz. They needed to add a guy from free agency to take that role. And I said this a couple years ago. I didn't want Pablo Sandoval. Thought he was a waste. Thought his best years were behind him. Thought that he could do decent things, but did think his best years were behind him. I stated that. And the Red Sox go out and get Pablo Sandoval. I wanted Edwin Encarnacion. If the Red Sox had Edwin Encarnacion, things would be very different right now. They wouldn't have to go out and spend the money on JD Martinez. They wouldn't have to feel as if they have to combat this move. They could just work with what they got. The Red Sox are a good team. They're a solid team. They have the best outfield probably in Major League Baseball. They have a young shortstop that struggled this past year, but I really think he's going to bounce back. Rafael Devers is a superstar. At catcher, you have Vasquez. You have Swihart. You have some young guys at catcher that, are definitely on the rise. The rotation is what it is. Chris Sale, top 3. David Price, I think we haven't seen his best yet, and I think we will. And in terms of Drew Pomeranz, he was a huge breakout guy. Then you look at the Yankees, they have Sanchez, Judge, and Stanton. That's the identity of their team. The rotation is meh. Luis Severino did some really good things last year. Tanaka, inconsistent. CC equals veteran, but not as good as he once was. There's question marks there. There's a lot of question marks with the New York Yankees, and I'm not saying it from a biased standpoint. I'm saying it just looking at it on the surface. You're paying a DH $300 million, a DH that has never lasted a full season twice. He's only lasted a full season once in his entire career. He'd get hurt at any time. Judge is forced to take a lesser role, which could be good but could be bad. You have Gary Sanchez, who is a power hitter, a fantastic hitter, but nonetheless, you never know what's going to happen. Baseball is to be determined. It's the most unpredictable sport that there is. But make no mistake about it, the rivalry is back on, and truly, it never left.